I'm looking for my pick. I just had it like 10 seconds ago. Got it. So this video started with an Instagram post I made a while back. It was just me noodling some basic chords, B minor, D and G. But I got so many responses. People wondered what song it was, what tuning it was in, how the heck I was playing it, etc, etc. But the way I saw it is that I was just playing 3 chords. I liked how it sounded, of course, because otherwise I wouldn't have posted it, but still, just 3 chords, you know. And today I'm coming to you with some tips to get you up and running as a dream guitar player for each band, the session guitar player every producer is looking for, or the singer-songwriter's dream. So just tag along. Here is level 1. This thing started with me sitting on the couch, playing just this line. And my wife, she said,
"Oh, dat klinkt mooi."
Which means something along the lines of, that sounds sweet. So it is just the root note of the chord and the D string as a pedal note constantly through the chords. This works because the D is a note that fits all 3 chords. So let's take a look. It's B minor, so the D on string 2 fret 3, the D, again string 2 fret 3, and the G, also the D note. So all 3 chords have the D in it. So this sounds of course pretty sweet already. This could be an indie song. Probably is an indie song, but moving on. Okay, so the next level, level 2. I wanted to add some richness to the chords. So I thought, why not add a 3rd on top? And not a 3rd above the root, but 1 octave higher. To give the D string some room in the bottom end. This is called a compound 3rd, by the way, which you see a lot these days in hit songs. So for the B minor, the 3rd is fret 7 on the G string, along with the D string. Okay, now to the D chord, which is a major chord, so just move your finger 1 fret higher to fret 11. So it's 10, the D string, and fret 11. And now we go to the G major chord, which is also major. So the same shape, but then starting on G. So G note, open D string, and fret 4 on the G string, the B. So now we've got something that sounds like this. I may need to tune my guitar just a little bit. Remember kids, tuning, super important. Okay. That's better. So that's where we are right now. That was level 2. Now, if I were to sing, this is probably the moment I would throw in some vocals. But since that's not happening, no, it's not, no. Level 3. I often find it cool to add a melody in between the chords, just to create a little more movement in the progression. Or this could be perfect for like an instrumental interlude, or an intro, or before the vocals start, whatever. And even then, if you play a melody in between the chords, you can still add vocals on top if they don't collide with each other, if they don't stand in each other's way. So what I did on the B minor chord, I was using the B and the E string to create a melodic feel in the harmony, basically. So you hear the melody. That's basically the melody lying on top of the B minor chord. But I'm playing it in between the chords, so you don't see the melody like this, but you'll hear it. So root note, 3rd string, root note, B string, root note, 3rd string, root note, high E string. And now you can add the D string wherever you like, if you play it a little rough. Sounds great. That's why I'm using a very thick pick, by the way, for this example. The one I was looking for on the ground, it's 2.0 millimeters. I usually wouldn't use this one for acoustic, but I felt this one really worked with this kind of playing. It gave it a little more punch. Okay, so now I went to the D chord. and on the D chord I play this. So you hear a melody. It's a pretty basic melody, but because I'm playing it intertwined in the chord, you can't see it that easily. But the way I'm playing it, root note, and then the G string, then the root note again, and then the high E string, root note again, and then the fret 12 on the D string, and then the root note again, and then I'm ending with an open B string, which is basically the introduction of the next chord, the G. So, and the melody is basically playing from the third to the root note. So, on the D chord, it's just one step down each time. But because I'm using that open E string instead of just basic melody on one string down, sounds way cooler in my opinion. Okay, so from the top, B minor. So on G I basically play the same thing, but sometimes I added the open B string, which is the same as the fret 4 on the G string, but it gives a more open chorusy vibe. So to make the tension span of the melody a little longer, the second time I'll end with a different note, just to have a little variation. So it goes like this. On the D, the B minor stays the same. On the D I'm playing. So first the G string, then the root note again, then the open E string, root note again, and then on the second string, fret 10, which is an A. And then you play fret 3 on the B string. So this is a different resolution than the first 4 bars, or 2 bars, depends on how you count it. So in total, when I play the first 2 after each other, it sounds like this. Now you could also add a third and a fourth repeat in this, maybe going to different chords. For instance, you start on B minor, and you go to A, for example. And then the fourth time you could go to E minor. Go on and on. So that's the way I think of these chords when I try to make something more interesting of just 3 basic chords. Remember, it's just B minor, D, and G. It's not always necessary to add all these embellishments. Sometimes a nice and clean guitar part also suits the song very well. But this is quite lovely if you ask me. So that happens when you live in Rotterdam, close to a harbor. These are ships, I hope. Or it's the Third World War, but let's hope not. So of course you can always try to add more variations. You can play it on electrical guitar, you can play it with your fingers. Let's try that, by the way. Beloved Strat. You can do it all whatever you like, and if you get a DAW, a digital audio workstation, you can record yourself on top, on top, on top. So I recommend that's something you should be doing, recording yourself. And then fix yourself a singer if you don't sing yourself. And you got yourself a hit song. Anyways, it was Paul. I hope you liked this little video lesson about making something more from basic chords. And if you did, make sure to click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, because then you get notified by my video. Who doesn't want that? Alright, have a wonderful day. Cheers. Oh, and by the way, as I told you before, I'm working on a guitar course at the moment. So if you want to be kept in the loop, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter. Link in the description. Cheers. I mean, cheers.